I would rather, take that longer path of, creating something real and true rather than just, I don't want my first hit song to blow up on TikTok. I'd rather just have it naturally happen, dude.
Awesome. What's going on? I'm Adam. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm Garrett or Top Gun.
All right, Top Gun. Well, this is about you and your journey in music, and we'll talk about your new EP.
Cool, cool.
Sweet. I did see are you originally from Cleveland?
Yeah, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
That's awesome, man. My parents are both from Cleveland.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I was born in San Diego, born and raised in San Diego, but my family's from Cleveland, and yeah, my parents went to Bowling Green and
Damn, crazy.
yeah, lived in Dayton for a while. So yeah. What part of Cleveland?
I'm from like the Avon, North Ridgeville area, so about like 20 minutes outside the city.
Yeah, right on. I know Avon. That's cool. Yeah, my family are like in Amherst, Elyria area.
Oh, dude, right next to us. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's so wild. So
My mom went to Lorraine, and then my dad went to Ridgeville. So
did she really? My grandfather was born in Lorraine.
crazy.
Yeah, dude. Lorraine's cool, man. It's like right there on the water.
Yeah, it was definitely booming, like, in like the 70s, shit like that. So,
Yeah.
but,
That's wild. That's crazy. So you're from Avon then.
yeah.
All right. Well, tell me about Avon. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about it. I just have visited him a ton of times. I mean, at least the Elyria area, but
Yeah, so
what was it like growing up in Avon?
I was like right on like the borderline of Avon and Ridgeville. I went to North Ridgeville High. Small school, small city. I had the same teachers my dad had, all
No
that.
way.
Yeah, it's pretty, just straightforward. Nothing too creative or anything like that. I definitely had like a just didn't really get along with a lot of people in high school. Was kind of, an outcast in a sense. I always tried to fit in, never really did. Grew up skateboarding my whole life with my
Oh,
dad.
oh, your dad skateboards too. That's awesome.
Yeah. We had a half pipe in the backyard growing up.
No way. That's awesome. I grew up skateboarding too. That was where.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I didn't skate vert. I wasn't very good at it.
Yeah, I skate all like transition stuff. I still skate probably twice a week. Try to skate more, but I'm just pretty busy. So, because
Yeah.
I'm also in a band called Alex Sucks. So,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Okay. So
So,
you're doing the band thing and the DJ thing.
yeah, I live with my band. We actually just moved into a new house last week, which is cool. So,
Rad. So easy to
got
practice.
got the
Practice
pups
schedule.
right there.
Nice.
But yeah, so
Cool.
we wake up, all stuff like that, go skate. But yeah, just growing up in Cleveland is very, just like a straightforward, small, like American town, I guess you could say.
Uh-huh.
Not much going on, but it was cool. But I feel like being from there, kind of gives me the edge over, some other people in the sense of, coming from not much going on
Uh-huh.
and coming out to a city, such as LA or, when I go to New York, I feel like a lot of people out here had, a lot of things handed to them and it
Yeah.
didn't give
A little
them that.
bit. Yeah.
I, I feel like it really gives me that drive to, push myself farther, from an artistic standpoint and creative standpoint, just in life in general.
Uh-huh. For
So
sure. Well, do you come from a musical household at all? I mean, your dad
not at
skateboards,
all.
that's killer. So
Yeah,
aside from that.
it's pretty crazy. So I kind of the whole reason I got into DJing was playing the video game DJ Hero. It's like
Oh,
it's
really?
yeah, but so I saved up my allowance, got a little shitty turntable, started throwing shows like in my high school with these corny high school suburb rappers. um, one thing led to another. I just started saving up the money from the shows, flying out artists that I was like cool, that I liked, that I was kind of cool with through SoundCloud, stuff like that. One thing led to another, and then just started like kind of branching out, working with artists outside the city, stuff like that.
Were you like writing your own beats and stuff, or were you just
No,
in?
so I
Okay.
didn't start making music until quarantine. So I
Oh,
was like
wow. Okay.
throwing shows or DJing for artists, touring with artists, DJing clubs, playing just top 50s bullshit. And then once quarantine hit, I was like, damn, I have no way to make money now, you know? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna start, producing music. Started off like making like hip hop trap beats, because that was the scene that I was in.
Hmm.
Uh, Kind of was just instantly bored with it. Just, the consistent, just same trap patterns, all that type of stuff. And I kind of just started studying other genres, and started to notice like, okay, like electronic music is cool, especially the house music, but I feel like there's no personality in it. There's no marketability. When you look at hip hop and rock and roll, I feel like, the artist are always has some like cool creative marketability side to them, to
Hmm.
where when you look at electronic, some of these dudes will have a billion streams. You have no idea what they look like.
Right.
But it's like, and electronic music is so much more worldwide compared to hip hop and even rock and roll sometimes. And I was just like, damn, what if I could create this cool marketable persona, and bring a creative side of the culture to electronic music. And that's why decided to go with house music, and start going from there. So
Okay. So
been
once so you were just DJing, and when did you move to LA? Was it like right out of high school?
No, I didn't move to LA until probably 2.5 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm still, relatively new. I kind of just started because I moved to Pittsburgh. When I dropped out of college, parents weren't hyped. I was like, yeah, I'm dropping out of college to be a DJ. They were like, what the fuck? Like, what? I I ended up knowing a few people in Pittsburgh, which is about, 2.5 hours away.
Yeah, not far.
Got a job at the skate shop out there, and then just started, doing the same thing that I was doing in Cleveland, throwing shows, DJing the clubs. And then once quarantine hit, that's when I moved back to my parents, and then that's when I started, producing music. And then a group of my friends that I knew from Cleveland were probably like the only two other creative people that I knew there. Were like, fuck it, let's just pack up and move to LA right now, because it was cheap. So within 2 months we moved to LA, and then yeah, the rest was kind of history from there.
Wow. So when you started writing your own music or producing your own beats and stuff, were you putting them up on SoundCloud? It sounds like you used that as kind of a way to network with other
Yeah,
artists.
I started like the very first song I dropped with I shot a music video for it, and we actually shot half the music video in Cleveland, and then the second half when like the first week we moved to LA, and then we dropped that, and then I instantly got hit up by this really cool girl in the industry. Her name's Shauna Selvin.
Hmm.
Um, and she ended up introducing me to my manager Blake, who's still currently my manager. And I guess like I kind of just like instantly had like a little traction. Dude, I was worried that I was gonna drop electronic music, and everybody who like rocked with me previous wasn't gonna like vibe with it, and they were just gonna be like, what is this kid on?
Right, right.
Cool. Like I feel like people saw what I was trying to do, and it kind of just started working right away, which is cool. And it's just kind of gradually just been continuously going up, which has been really fun.
That's amazing. So you put out the first song got you kind of noticed, sounds
Yeah,
like.
the first song is not necessarily anymore one of my most streamed songs, but it was like my most streamed song for a while.
Okay.
So
And
um,
how did were people just finding it online?
yeah, I guess so. Like to be honest, I couldn't even tell you. I don't know how to go about promoting music. I kind of just would drop it and just be like, this is me, whether you like it
Yeah.
or not, this is what I'm doing now. So, and I guess, yeah, people just, the video did really well, which was cool. It's a song called Curious.
Okay. And you
Yeah.
shot the beginning half in Cleveland, and then when you got to LA, you finished up the video.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. And from like getting that traction, were you like, oh damn, like I got to keep putting music out now, or were you already
Yeah.
releasing
And then,
songs? And like, tell me
yeah.
kind of what happened after you got that spark.
Yeah. So I just continuously was working. I would work on music every single day. I think I have 3 projects out now.
Hmm.
And then I just kind of just kept dropping music, kept making music, and to be honest, all the music I have out right now, it's music I don't really like, and up until this project that just came out. And it was just because the first two projects I basically like made while I was still in Ohio, but I like finished the production while I was here.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so, but dude, so the thing is, I talk to my mom every day, and I just remember like talking to my mom and just being like, damn, like this music's cool, but like I just want to put out this newer stuff that I'm making. Because to be honest, even with my project just coming out, I have two projects already done that for after this.
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of artists that are like that, like where
Yeah.
they'll release this and be like, yeah, I'm excited about this, but it's
Yeah,
wait
but
till
the
you hear
next one's
this.
like, exactly. But I just remember just talking to my mom and being like, yeah, I don't even like this anymore. And she was just like, well, your fans don't know what your new stuff is like, and you're still super new to music. So just, put it out and let your fan base grow with you. And I was like, damn, that's, very true.
Yeah, because you might be sick of hearing it, but no,
Yeah.
everyone else hasn't heard it at all,
Yeah. And
right?
it's always been cool because everything I've put out, people have liked, which has been cool. Like, thank God I haven't put anything out and people have been like, this fucking sucks. Like,
Yeah.
so I guess we're doing pretty good with that.
Yeah. So once you get to LA, I mean, LA is massive, and it's cool that you were able to get some traction early on and kind of meet people. And were you able to, from that point work with different artists? Like how did you continue to keep the ball rolling?
Yeah, so I came out here, and my biggest thing, and it's still something I really live by, is not catering to LA and not trying to fit into LA and not trying to be like the other people that are popular in LA. I always told myself I was just gonna, stay true to myself and be myself. And I feel like that's kind of what caught a lot of people's attention because I feel like a lot of people come to LA and they look at the scene and they're like, okay, what do I need to do to fit in? And kind of go by that. And
Right, like what's working, and we'll emulate that and
yeah,
try to get
you know,
on that bandwagon or whatever.
yeah, because I could have easily, came out here and met like a big electronic artist and kind of just like rode his wave and came up under him, but I would only last as long as that person lasts.
Yeah, or even if that until the next person, right? I mean,
Exactly.
yeah,
So it's like I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna do my own thing and make my own scene, my own wave. And it was like a slow, steady situation. And by no means am I saying I'm a major artist or anything like that, but I definitely got motion in the city now, and it's really cool to see because I really struggled for a while. But I feel
mhm.
like a lot of people, just come out here and they just pretend to be somebody they're not, and they put on this fake persona and this mask. And my project that just recently came out is called City of the Freaks. It's literally about that. Like I made that project while I was in LA, during the time of just watching everybody just put on this fake mask and this fake persona to try to fit in and to try to be cool in the city. And
Mhm.
that's why I paint half my face is in the concept of pretending to be somebody I'm not, but staying true to myself.
Okay, I love
So,
that. Yeah, I did read a quote of yours about kind of describing
mm,
what this project is about. But I think you're 100% right. I mean, it's definitely an interesting town, so to speak. I mean, I'm from San Diego, so I've been to LA a million times.
yeah.
But yeah, it's there's definitely a vibe. I mean, but if you think about what people move to LA and they have this idea of like, oh, I'm going to be a star, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
where all the famous people are, and this and the other thing. And it's easy to get wrapped up in trying to make that happen. But I feel like TikTok would be a great example of like the people that are blowing up on there were people that are being authentic to who they were and what they were just doing with them, right? I mean, if you try to
Yeah.
jump on those bandwagons or try to copy somebody else, you're only going to last for so long.
But dude, and it's the same thing with TikTok, and luckily from our band side of things, as well as my personal artist, I kind of don't really want to be on TikTok, dude. I don't want to be like holding my
I'm
phone.
not on it either. I'm too old, but I've just like talked to a lot of artists that have made it out of there.
Yeah, and I don't want to be on there and just be like, "Yo, what's up? Like, listen to my new song." Like, day
Sure.
five. or just being like, yo, like I'm in the car with my grandma right now, like I'm gonna play her my song for the first time, like
Yeah, get a
nah,
reaction.
I don't know. I don't know if it's like that skater punk side of me that just like hates that or what it is, but it's just like I don't know. I also feel like a lot of, artists, you know, have a song blow up on TikTok or they blow up on TikTok and then, we're at a point now to where TikTok's been out long enough to where an artist last year that blew up is irrelevant already today,
Hmm.
you know? Like
Yeah,
I
not a lot of people. It's hard to get that hit and then be able to like follow it up. Like, you get the one song and it's like, okay, now do I do? Do I try to chase that again and try to regurgitate what I've already done, or do you try to do something totally different and hopefully it lands again? But yeah, it's a gamble there.
Exactly, dude. And it's like, I would rather, take that longer path of, creating something real and true rather than just, I don't want my first hit song to blow up on TikTok. I'd rather just have it naturally happen, dude. Like,
Yeah. No, 100%. And that way you actually have a dedicated fan base, not just people that are like,
exactly. Like
they're
it's
like, "Oh, I know DJ Top. Oh, who's DJ Top? Oh, he's that guy with that one. He has that one song. Oh yeah, okay."
exactly. It's just about, really, you know, building that fan base up and, all that. And
Hmm.
I feel like, some of the people that I look up to are artists such as, David Bowie, Tyler Creator.
Hmm.
I know he's nuts, but from creative side, Kanye. Uh,
Yeah.
and
Well, the guy's
something
a
that,
genius. I mean, as far as
yeah,
I know, obviously his his
political,
ideology gets a little dicey, but I mean, look out, he's a billionaire.
exactly, yeah. And when I study these artists and stuff like that, I love that they've always created these characters and these personas for each album.
Hmm.
And I feel like in electronic music, everybody just has their persona and they just rock it for their whole career.
Hmm.
So, with me, if you look at my past projects, I've already, done that. I've just created these personas and these characters for each project. Two
Hmm.
projects ago called Rave Star, I like had this. We got this motorcycle helmet and put disco ball material all over it. Um, and then for this most recent one was the half face one. I
Yeah.
already have the next thing like lined up ready to go, and it's just like I said, like I feel like Bowie and Tyler and Ye are some of the most creative people ever, and I love how they've always just created these moods. Even from the side of colors, like they'll rock like a certain color for a certain album, and then
Hmm.
create the artist and the persona around that color, and just things like that is what I've like really loved.
Hmm.
And I'm trying to bring that to electronic music as well, and I feel like that's just something that hasn't really been done. So
Yeah. No, 100%. And you have on the first song on the title track of the EP, you have Kenny Hoopla.
yeah,
That's huge, man. He's a great artist.
that's like one of my closest friends.
No way.
Yeah.
I was on the radio for a lot of years, and we played what was the song? Buried on the Side of the Highway, or
Oh yeah. That was like
uh
his first song that came up too.
yeah, when he first came out, I was working for a radio station in San Diego, and we were playing the shit out of that song.
Yeah. So fun fact, he was actually born in Cleveland.
Was he really? I
Yeah.
don't know much about him. I just know that I knew that one song was a big one for us and we played it all the time. And then he was supposed to play one of our shows, and COVID happened because that song was
Uh,
doing well, like I think right in the beginning of 2020.
yeah. But yeah, so he was
But
born in Cleveland, but he grew up in Wisconsin. But
okay.
it's the same thing, like just off hold on, sorry. Just off SoundCloud again. Just me dropping a bunch of music on SoundCloud, when I was coming up. I remember somebody showed me Kenny Hoopla's music and I just DM'd him. I was just like, and usually I'm not the type of person to DM people a bunch and be like, yo, I fuck with you. Like, that's just
Hmm.
not who I am. But I was like, I could tell like Kenny was just like, okay, he's not one of these corny, fake rock star pop punk artists. Like he's real.
Hmm.
And that kind of hit me right away. And I was like, okay, this dude's cool. So I just hit him up and I was like, yo, like, big fan of your music. I love it. And he replied the same day with a screenshot of like a super old SoundCloud song I dropped in like 2016, 2017, like some crazy shit. And he was like, I still listen to this. And I was like, whoa.
Wow.
And then I was like, yeah, like I live in LA. Like if you ever want to link, like, and he was like, yeah, I'm here right now. And we linked that same day. Just, yeah. And he just came over to my house and, you know, we just became super close friends from there. I've toured with him multiple times. The artist Alex, who's like my best friend, who I live with, and we're in a band together now. We've toured with Kenny. When I was in Europe last year doing a festival run, when I was done, I flew to the UK and kicked it with Kenny on his tour for a few days. So like we're super close. And you know, all the artists that I work with, feature bass wise, it's never like me just wanting to work with somebody because they're popular. It's I have a relationship with every artist I've ever worked with, which I think is also important. I feel like a lot of electronic artists use the same top liners or you know kind of just that type of thing, to where me like I want to bring all these cool creative artists that nobody else works with that have never made electronic music and you know make it happen. Like like, I don't even know if Kenny will ever do another house song with any other, you know, DJ. So
yeah,
like,
I was gonna say that's not really what is, you know, his project sounds like whatsoever.
And even when you listen to it, you're like, damn, like this is Kenny, like
yeah,
you know, and it's so cool. And you know, we just made that like one day. And the craziest thing is we recorded those vocals on an iPhone.
Did you really?
Yeah, on an iPhone.
Oh my
And
gosh.
we just luckily got them mixed good enough. But yeah, dude, it's just like, you know, it's real, which is cool. So I feel like that's what makes people feel that song too, is like you could tell like, oh, like this really hits, you know? And I actually
back to like that authenticity again.
Yeah,
like,
and I actually based the whole project around that song. So we made that song before I even was like, okay, like I'm gonna name the project City the Freaks. Like we made that song. Yeah, we made that song, and then I was just like, damn, like I really like this, and I really like where he was going with this, and you know, one thing led to another. So
that's amazing. That's so cool. Yeah, and for like your project, I mean, you just put this one out, so obviously this is a big deal. But you talked about you have, you know, I got two more coming forward. Are you working with people on those as well? Like, or do you have features on those ones as well coming up?
yeah, I have some really cool features.
That's
I don't
awesome.
want to like spoil the news yet,
No,
but
yeah, for sure. I was just curious if that's something you're going to continue doing.
yeah, if you're hyped on the Kenny one too, you'll be hyped on the newer ones too.
That's awesome.
I'm working with more alternative artists and hip hop artists, and you know, bringing them to the electronic world.
That's killer, dude. That's awesome. Are you doing a lot of shows in LA? Or are you doing tour to support the record or
So
anything?
recently, and it, you know, it's so cool to see because forever, like for the past, you know, 2.5 years I've lived here, I've only done just like smaller, you know, bars or clubs or raves. I really came up in the rave scene out here. That's kind of how I made like, you know, my momentum.
Okay.
But just recently, some of them aren't announced yet. I don't know if I could publicly say them, but uh, I just signed to a bunch of festivals this summer and later in the year. So now I have like these kind of like radius clause things to where I'm not allowed to do, you know, ticketed events like that. But dude, I'm fucking stoked, bro. Like bro, it's so cool. But yeah, I like playing. I like DJing as much as I can. It's fun. Like I don't really like going out unless I'm kind of DJing. I'm like a very secluded, quiet person, I guess. But when I DJ, I kind of just turn into a different person, and it's fun.
Do you approach you know, your project now different than obviously like DJing, like you're talking about how you used to DJ clubs, like just top 40 stuff. I mean, coming out and playing like your records and your own original songs, do you approach that
Yeah.
differently?
So now, I definitely feel like I approach things differently. Like, dude, nothing against Drake, but you will never catch me playing Drake in the club or you know anything like that. Like I refuse to, you know, play music that, you know, I would want to play just because it's popular. I want to play the music that represents me as an artist and, you know, what I think is cool. For instance, I always play like Crystal Castles. Like
Oh,
every
cool.
I usually, throw some Crystal Castles in. I have a lot of I have a bunch of unreleased remixes that I've made that like I just play just at shows, and they're just a lot of like rock remixes. Like I have that. You remember that song Black Betty?
Yeah, yeah.
A remix to that song that I always play.
Black Betty and around.
Yeah, I always play this AC/DC remix. I recently made a Wet Leg remix that
Oh,
I really
really?
like.
That's cool.
I'll have like send you some stuff too to check out like all the remixes.
Awesome.
But yeah, I try to like, especially with being in a band now and everything like that. I try to stay true to myself, and with the remixes, not remix these top 40 songs and remix cool alternative songs that nobody else would remix.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of
I
just
like that.
rock that, which has been really it's been really fun, and it's also like a super big challenge because it's like, okay, how can I make this rock song sound like a good electronic song and not sound forced?
Right. Right.
So
That's awesome, dude. Well, congratulations on the success. And with your band, are you singing for the band? What are you doing for the
I
band?
play bass.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see. I don't know where he went. Alex walked in, but yeah, you know, we all started this band kind of out of nowhere.
Uh-huh.
Alex was an individual artist, and we've just been best friends for a few years, kind of since I've moved to LA, and we're with each other every fucking day, dude, and we were like, damn, okay, so like, because his stuff started, really taking off, and he recently signed this little situation as well as me signing something, and we were like, damn, like we need to make sure we can still hang out every day, dude. So it's like we were
Let's
like,
move in.
uh, he was like, yo, so like I want to start a band, because he's all about on that same tip, like not wanting to be one of those corny TikTok fake rock star kids, and uh, our biggest inspirations are like the Strokes, LCD sound system, stuff like that. That's like kind of what we're going for. Like I feel like pop punk is what's in right now, and it's kind of starting to die out. And what came after pop punk was that like indie sleaze sound. And I feel like nobody's doing that. I feel like especially in LA, all these bands are still trying to do the whole like pop punk wave. And we kind of just came together as a band. He was like, "Yeah, dude, just learn how to play bass. I feel like that's the easiest thing, and we could figure it out." So I learned how to play bass probably over the past like 9 months, and helped produce this entire album that we have coming out. Brennan O'Brien engineered the whole thing, if you know who that is.
No, I'm not
Did Bruce Springsteen, Bob Dylan, Rage Against the Machine, Red Hot
Oh,
Chili Peppers.
jeez. Okay.
Yeah, he came out of retirement too to do it, which is really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, so we were finishing up that album the same time that I was finishing up my project, so it was very stressful and there was a lot going on. But we got that done, and the something cool that we want to do is we want to set up when our band goes on tour, we want to set up all my solo shows as the after parties for the band shows.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
So it'd
That's
be
a
like
really cool idea.
it'd be like a double tour for me. And I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
that's something, mixing electronic with, indie music. I feel like that's also something that could be like, new and refreshing. So
Right. No, that's a great idea. You'll
yeah,
play the set, and then after, like, okay, I'm gonna DJ this
yeah,
event, this
exactly.
party. Yeah, that's a cool idea, man.
You know, but but yeah, we just moved into a nice house. Hold on, I wonder if I can just move the camera. I gotta show you our skateboard wall that we got going up the stairs.
Oh yeah, let's see it.
This is the whole.
Oh damn.
So
Cool. Is it what boards are those?
So we got Palace one, and then these are Alex's skate shop that he grew up with in Denver.
Oh, is it almost?
Yeah, Louis
Oh.
Marnell, Death Wish, Jeff Pang, and then our drummer Ethan. He did like some crazy clips on these, so that's why we got that one. And Element
Anti-hero.
skate shop I grew up with in Pittsburgh, or that I worked at.
Oh, cool.
DJ Muska,
Oh, did you have the old Muska board? Do they still make that, or is that like some?
I don't even know. That one's not mine.
The Shorty's board.
Yeah, we got the dog right here.
That's
Bean.
dope, dude.
But and then yeah, we just got a bunch of we're like big on like the art shit, so we got
I
like,
love it.
that, and then this whole thing over here. So
Killer, dude. Well,
yeah,
I love it. Thanks for doing this interview, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, dude. It was fun. So you stay out in San Diego?
No, I moved to Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, okay, cool.
But yeah.
Well, we'll be out there eventually. Definitely come.
Yeah, I've only been here for a couple of years now, but yeah, I born and raised in San Diego. Did radio there and did about 5 years of radio in San Francisco, and then back to San Diego. Now I'm in Nashville.
Okay, sure.
So yeah, dude. Well, I have one more question for you before I let you go.
Yeah,
and again, I appreciate your time. I want to know if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
The biggest thing is just staying true to yourself, man. Don't give in, and just try to fit in. Just be yourself, and you'll get way farther with that. So that's all I can really say.